Kasso Condry came up as a graffiti artist, taking walls for his canvas. Back for a visit in his hometown of Trenton, he was invited to paint a mural near Mill Hill Park. He chose to honor Entozaki Shange, the black feminist writer also born in Trenton.
I like to convey messages in my work and promote life. And the beauty of it is that she was born here and she's still alive. On the drive down, Jennifer and I were discussing this and it just made perfect sense.
Jennifer Herrera is Associate Director at Middlebury College's Multicultural Center. Will worked with her during his artist in residency at the small Vermont college.
I was setting up for an artist in residency program at Middlebury College. And me and Jennifer getting closer and closer in the process. So I was like, you know what? Let's see how this goes. But I go to Vermont dead of winter, and winter in Vermont ain't no joke. I mean, I'm talking about it snowed every day, but I had the time of my life. Jennifer's influence has helped me get through a lot of dark stuff. So I did the best thing. I got engaged to her. Yeah.
For Kasso, bringing his art and his life to the next step started when his Mike Brown mural made the news.
New at 11, the city of Trenton covers up a mural of slain Missouri teenager Michael Brown. An artist painted the mural on a vacant storefront. Michael Brown was shot and killed by a police officer in Ferguson, Missouri back in August. The 18-year-old was unarmed at the time.
By the next day, CNN, Eyewitness News, Grio, Complex Magazine, you name the press junket, they reached out to me. And that's when it went national. I had people as far as Germany chiming in. I'm like, whoa, okay.
The mural was part of a partnership with Trenton's Downtown Association, allowing artists to paint on empty storefronts. But the choice of Mike Brown was too hot. It made it tough for Kasso to keep painting in Trenton, but it also brought him wider attention.
When I was out in California, people knew me for that. Like, I heard you're the guy that painted Mike Brown in Trenton. So for me, I feel that it's my duty to take that attention and do something positive with it. Anywhere I go from here on in, I owe Mike Brown a debt of gratitude, because that mural changed my life.
Condry went to college for fine art, where he got his name Kasso, as in Picasso. But his path started long before, with a free class as a kid at ArtWorks in Trenton.
When ArtWorks first came to Trenton, Will took art classes here as a kid. He's told us how ArtWorks is what put him on the path to become an artist. Fast forward 27 years later, now he's having a solo show in a place where he actually learned how to create art.
It was an ad in the local paper saying that this art nonprofit is offering free art classes on weekends for inner city Trenton kids. My mom, it's like, do you want to do this? I'm like, yeah. So I still remember walking into those doors. It still looks the same. Still life drawing. I learned about paper mache. I learned how to make puppets, kites. Every Saturday, it was like from like 9 to 12 or something like that. Good memories, good memories. It was really, left a serious impression on me. Everything around graffiti, the terminology can be very negative. You're bombing, you're killing, you're tagging. But the areas we painted are already bombed and burnt out, destroyed. So it's like, okay, I can't really do too much damage to what's already been done. Why not I just go out there and paint this wall and put something cool up for the community to enjoy, And it worked. Once the community saw what we were doing, we didn't have anything to worry about because the police wasn't gonna come unless someone complained. If no one complains, you're not doing anything wrong, right? Everybody's telling me like, Kasso, don't do it, man. Are you crazy? You gonna go out there on that block in broad daylight and paint Gandhi? I was like, that's exactly why I'm not gonna get caught. Who's gonna arrest me for painting Gandhi on an abandoned building, So a cop rolls up within maybe an hour of me starting. And he's looking at the wall, he's looking at me. He's like, you got permission for this? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, he just drove off, right? I was like, well, that was too easy. So I'm painting, the portraits coming together. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours in. Another cop comes up, and this one's creeping. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna take some finesse, And he was like, well, who's sanctioning this? And I told him I just made something up, no one was sanctioning, obviously. He was like, all right, well, I need your ID because I want to let people know down at the station that you're cool in case someone complains. Not a problem, gave him my ID. And I remember they drove down to the end of the block and they got out and arrested somebody for selling dope. It was, yeah, what's the chances? So 7 hours later, as I'm finished, another car rolls up. I'm on a ladder at this point, and I'm like super tired. I'm like a wet noodle. I was like, I ain't coming down. If they figured it out, then they just going to have to come up here and get me because I'm finishing this wall. Cop came up, beeped the horn. Hey, buddy, you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Kasso was part of a diverse group of artists who formed Sage Coalition, focused on inner city beautification. Abandoned buildings were adorned with windows of soul, and the empty lot near the Gandhi mural became a garden.
As the Gandhi garden was in production, I decided to redo the wall completely. And I spent like a couple months working on it. And that's the wall that's up today. I finished that December 2012.
Lack of support and people just moving on all led to Sage Coalition taking a pause.
There was more art up, but somebody took that one right off the wall because they liked it.
The last Windows of Soul event was held in 2016, about the same time this mural was painted.
All the artists who painted on this wall are listed right above there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different artists, including myself. We cleaned up this whole area. It was weeds all over the wall. We got the grass cut, everything. Cleaned up the block, because kids playing here. All the artists that painted this, they volunteered their time.
One way of making a living as an artist in the inner city is by painting RIP, Rest in Peace murals.
Somebody cared enough to pay me to represent their loved one, and I take that very serious. He was a local MC rapper. When he passed away, his father actually reached out to me to commission me to do this. It puts you in a weird position because you don't want to turn anyone down because they're in pain, but at the same time, you don't want to promote like this is cool. I had little kids coming up to me, oh, when I die, can you put me on the wall? Nah, that's not what I'm trying to do here, you know? So I had to let that go.
Kasso was spending less time in Trenton. He was painting in California, even London. Then came Middlebury, a place to call home again, and the time to make art.
My work matured. You know, I got to focus on stuff that I hadn't been able to focus on for years. You know, I really got to develop as an artist. I painted almost every day, paint, draw, you know, and I was doing my residency. I did, 2, 3 floor murals in the stairway, along with a mural in the entrance of the Anderson Freeman Resource Center, which is their multicultural center. So the entire building now is covered with murals that I either did alone or with a group of students.
Three Wise Men was painted in 2017. Will's self-portrait is flanked by 2 men he respects, his cousin Kevin, who remade his life after some tough times, and James Wells, a well-known businessman and activist in Trenton.
I just knew he was this cool older dude that always come through and we'd just kick it, you know? He asked me if I would design him a logo of a canary, symbolic of the coal mining days. It was in a canary and the canary died. The coal mine wasn't safe.
Then Kasso learned that James had been brutally murdered.
He was basically beat to death in front of his house. Somebody tried to rob him.
Kasso painted the canary for James Wells, along with the Kurt Vonnegut quote that inspired it.
But to me, he was symbolic of that. The canary in the coal mine. You know, when James died, the canary died. I'm in a way better place now. I had to make some tough choices. I had to sacrifice some things in order to save myself and to mature as a human being, as an artist, as a father, as all these things. And I do miss it here. You know, it's not all pain and tears and drama. I had a lot of great times, and I don't think I will ever fully be pulled away from here. I mean, this is my home. If I didn't go through what I went through, none of this would be up right now.